everybody, this is Taz. Welcome back to Taz's Wig Closet. Today I'm going to show you a fresh new style from Estetica, new for their winter collection 2019. This one's called Winter and it's in the color RH1488. Winter is a really super cute, short, curly, angled bob cut. Let's look at this color first. I think we've all seen this RH1488, one of the most popular blondes for Estetica. Now I've had the privilege of seeing this color on a number of Estetica styles, and I can tell you that they all seem to be a little bit different to me, just depending on the style that it's on, the light that it's in. So let's get up close. So what I'm looking at is like a medium to dark neutral blonde, and within that then are some highlights of some pale neutral blonde. Now in some lighting schemes I can actually pick up on a little bit of amber highlights or red gold. This particular color on this particular wig seems to be very neutral to me, so it's just a very nice natural blonde shade. Heading right into the specs for Winter. So Winter has a 7-inch bang according to the written specs. Now what I can tell you about that is that from my hairline to my chin is about 7 inches. So you'll see that these front pieces here do hang about 1.5 inches to 2 inches below my chin line. So I really feel like you're probably between 7.5 and 8.5 inches here on the front. They're probably just taking that measurement more further down on the temple rather than from the top. We do have a 7-inch crown area, and that's true to measurement, and a 2-inch nape. So the way that that crown kind of tapers back into that nape gives us a really cool beveling stacked effect in the back. There is a 5.75-inch layer here on the sides, and that just adds to all of this shaggy texture. It does give a little bit of volume on the sides. It only weighs about 2.86 ounces, so it is super lightweight. It has a temple-to-temple lace front and a left monofilament side part. Let's go ahead and get into that. So the lace front, I do like the lace front. I always think that Estetica does a nice job. The knotting is very fine, which is one of my requirements, and it does run temple to temple. And the knots there, or the seams, where the seam meets the lace front, the knotting is very well done, very well obscured. It even appears that there might be a few baby hairs coming out of that lace front, which just kind of lend itself to a nice wispy natural look. So there is a left monofilament side part. It only goes about halfway back to the crown. And it's a little bit densely threaded there to where it's very difficult to see through to the illusion of scalp. But from the front, it does give a very nice appearance. Every time I think of this name Winter for this style, I just can't help but to think of spring and summer. Based on the very light texture of this style and the length, it just feels so light and airy that I think of a nice summertime style. So we've all seen an appearance of some of these very dramatically angled bob cuts coming out in the last few years. And what I can tell you about this one is that I feel like Winter is eminently more wearable than some of those out there with very long fronts. You'll notice that the angle does kind of follow the jawline all the way down, but it doesn't really move past that into something that drags down your face. Before we get into the curl pattern and the texture, I do want to remark on the fibers. They're very baby fine. They're soft to the touch, and they move very well. They're very light and feathery to the touch. It is not remarkably dense. I would say it's just average to light in terms of density. So it just reminds me of very fine natural curly hair. You'll see a lot of that kinkiness in the back and the stacking effect here. But as it moves out towards the front and grows in length, the curls kind of blossom into something a little softer around the face. So this cut is really texturized as well. So it just looks like they took a raw bob, went ahead and made all of these angles and layers, but then kind of finished it off with some thinning shears or a razor to give a nice tapered ends to the fibers. And that just really plays up the shaggy, light texture of this style. Now you're getting a lot of volume here, but a lot of that volume is being created by these shorter layers on the sides and the stacking effect in the back. This actually has very light permatease. You're going to find a light layer of permatease all around that monofilament part and at the crown. I don't stick my fingers in and feel any of that really pillowy, nesty permatease anywhere on this cap. It's very light and airy, and it feels very light on my head. Now let's do a comparison. I do not have an Estetica Autumn to show you. Autumn came out, I think, this time last year. And Autumn is another one of those really steeply angled bob cuts that has a lot of curly texture to it. The thing is with Autumn, a couple of things. Autumn is longer. So Autumn's nape is about 2.75 versus the 2 on Winter. And the sides are about 9.5, so they come down a little further. Autumn has a little bit of a softer curly texture to it and a ton of volume on the top. Autumn has tons more permatease than does Winter. So if you're looking at Winter thinking and you like Autumn, just expect that Winter's going to have less permatease in it than Autumn does. Inside look at the cap. Here's your lace front. It does seem to be very shallow in depth, and the monofilament part runs just over halfway back to the crown, and it is also kind of a narrow parting space there. It is done very well though. There's your ear tab. It's completely open. Very flexible stays, very lightweight appeal. There's your extended open nape and the classic hook type adjusters. There's a lot of stretch on this style. Estetica caps do run kind of large, so right out of the box it is true to average and would fit an average size just fine. It's got a lot of stretch and a lot of room in this cap, so I feel like it would fit a large circumference much better than a petite circumference. When Winter came right out of the box, it was all the fibers were kind of like tightly compressed to the wig cap like they often are. So I got in there with my fingers and I kind of swirled around, especially on the top. There's not a lot of permatease up there, and I really wanted to create some lift and some separation right there. So we do have a little bit of a contour of these front pieces coming right out of that lace front, which does offer a little bit of the illusion of height. But like I said, you're not going to get a ton of lift on the top. Where you are going to get a lot of volume and lift is on the sides, just because of some of that layering kind of carries from the stacking in the back around to the side layers there. So since Winter reminds me so much of summer, I did bring out some sunglasses here. I'll go ahead and try these on to see how well they fit with this wig. Very easy fit. There's plenty of room between the ear tab and the ear for your glasses arms, and there's very little, if any, permatease there. So it's a very comfortable fit for glasses. So there's a lot going on with the layering and the angles on this style. I think it would be really cute just to make something a little more asymmetrical. I really love Winter right out of the box. The style, it just really doesn't need a lot of styling. But one thing I do think I will do on a regular basis with Winter is really play up this texture. There's no better way in the world to play up texture than using a spritz of water. So I'm going to sort of focus on the sides and the front, and I'm going to spray them down. And I'm just going to scrunch. I'm not going to saturate them. I'm just going to use a mist of water, and then I'm going to scrunch in and create all of that pieciness with the water. And I'm going to let it dry without any further brushing or combing. And the result is just going to be something just really air dried look, very piecey and textury.